Well, hello and welcome to How to Get Unstuck and Shine with Yoga with our resident expert, Saeri Star Wilde. Saeri, this program, I think we're going to start off with you helping us get grounded. So take it away, Saeri.
All right, well, hello and welcome, everyone. The breath is really the foundation of yoga practice, and I'd say it's both the most basic and the most advanced. So even if you are a beginner student, if you're working your breath practice, you could be actually a lot more advanced of a yoga student than someone who could do a handstand or put their ankle behind their head. So it's really wonderful to keep the breath as the foundation of your practice. And as one of my amazing teachers, Anna Forrest, says, breathe as if your life depends on it. Because it does. Yoga teacher joke. Okay. So we'll start by just getting your feet on the floor. Or, you know, you can lie down if you're in a position to do that and it sounds good. And we're going to be doing this breath. It's called Eje Breathing. And you could even go for practicing this breath while you're watching this video for the whole time. It's really interesting, so listen and breathe. So this is what it sounds like. And you can just watch as my energy shifts as I come into this. I'm going to close my eyes. You can close yours or you can watch. Even as I was doing it, I could feel how my focus wanted to like pop out to you guys, and it's this kind of like leaning forward feeling. But as I was creating this breath in my body, it pulled me back in, and I could feel this deeper calm inside of myself. You may have seen that just watching my body. So the way that you do this, and I'll have some other tutorials available to get you deeper into this breath, but essentially what it is it's just like when you fog a mirror, like you kind of get a little hug in your throat, activating the muscles to go and then, but you're going to be doing it with your mouth closed. So you drag the breath through your throat with the mouth closed, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So go ahead and close your eyes. And we'll begin. So take a deep Ujjayi inhale, making that whisper sound. And as I begin to speak, go ahead and keep breathing. We're going to create a grounding core. Now this is engaging your imagination a little bit. And keep breathing deep. Let your inhales expand your ribs out to the sides. Fill up your low back and your pelvis. Let your shoulders soften while keeping your chest lifted. And now picture a You're going to send a cord down into the planet that's as wide as your foundation. So if you're sitting in a chair, it's going to be big enough to encompass your pelvis and your feet and your legs. And if you're lying down, it's going to be big enough to encompass your whole body. And this cord can be whatever color you want and made out of anything that you like. I had a client I guided this through the other day, and she made a copper grounding cord for its conductivity. I thought that was really cool. And it's beauty. So go ahead and send this cord down from your pelvis or your body all the way down into the center of the planet. And Darren, you breathe and do this too.
Okay.
What? You're doing it? Okay. So keep breathing, everybody. So keep creating that whisper sound. And you can let your cord land, imagine it landing with a little kerplunk into the center of the planet. And feeling this connection, or whatever you imagine that would feel like. To be this rooted to the earth. Feeling the support of the planet. And then anything that you're carrying with you from your day, from the past, or from the future even, you can just let it slide right on down that cord and give it up to Mother Earth. And just let that happen automatically. You don't need to think about it too much. Just postulate it's happening. And keep breathing and feeling your body. And then we'll take 3 more deep inhales and exhales here in our meditation together. And then as we continue, I invite you to keep breathing as you continue to watch the rest of this webinar. Okay, here we go. Take a bigger inhale than you've taken all day. And a longer exhale. And again, huge inhale. And on that long exhale, just let anything else that's ready to go down your cord go. And one more, huge in. I love to sigh. And welcome.
Awesome. So, Saeri, I mean, my first question to you is, how important is breath and breathing, and like not just in yoga, but in everything in life? Is it the lifeline of everything that you do? So, how important is just taking the breath?
Well, it's very, very important. Why it's important? I mean, as I said before, your life depends on it. But the way I look at it, you know, a lot of times when I teach yoga, I get this sense people are like, I am breathing. Quit nagging me to breathe deeper. But here's the thing, like, yeah, we do breathe automatically, but if this is your life force, then isn't it worth it to become masterful at the breath? I mean, this is what athletes use, what actors use. All these people at high levels are taking deep breaths. And it soothes your nervous system. Also, on a more esoteric level, the breath, or the spirit comes in on the breath. So like in shamanic practices, this is what they talk about, and you can come into a deep trance by using your breath. And you know, more and more in the times that we live in, we're called to be connected to spirit while we're doing all these, normal things, we have jobs and we're driving. Well, you do go into a trance when you're driving. That's when you like blank out on a whole space of the journey. But it's really magical to slow your brain waves down. It gives you more time to process things. You'll be more connected with just with you, and that's where your truth is and the wisdom in your life. So there are lots of other scientific things, but for me, I like to go on experience more. And as I was saying in the Facebook Live video right before this, that I've been using the breath to expand in my business, to be more of myself, so that I can share my gifts with those who would like to receive them.
So before I go any further, my name is Darren Neuberger, and I'm a motivational speaker, published author, text talker, and Saeri's coach. I'm a big fan of what she does. And Saeri comes from a very long background in yoga. Let's talk about when this all started for you, how long you've been teaching yoga, and how many studios have you been teaching at and opened up, or all that kind of stuff. So just maybe give me a background of your experience in the world of yoga.
I haven't tallied all the studios I've taught at.
Okay.
This is funny. I've never tallied them up. But let's see. I trained with Anna Forrest in Forest Yoga, which is under the umbrella of Hatha Yoga. You may have heard of it. 6 years ago. This is actually my 6-year anniversary. And following that, I did a year-long mentorship.
Yay.
What? There's a little delay. Did you say yay? Can you hear me?
On your 6 years, congratulations on your 6 years.
Oh, thank you. 6 years. It's my birthday.
Yeah.
And I did a year-long mentorship with my my mentor, one of my many mentors, but my Forest Yoga mentor, Colleen Millen. She's a Forest Yoga guardian, which is what the high-level Forest Yoga teachers are called. And I have thousands of hours teaching yoga classes. So the training with Anna Forrest, she really teaches you how to be a teacher, and so that's a part of my practice. And to say I've been teaching for 6 years, some people wouldn't. Some people don't. Well, there's that not starting until you're ready thing. A lot of people who train in yoga won't teach for many years because they don't feel they're ready, or their teachers don't say they're ready. But in our lineage, we jump right in with our wisdom, and we start discovering. And one of the things I've discovered as a teacher is I learn by teaching. So it's been quite the light rail of 6 years teaching.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So you mentioned that you're very well versed in the art of yoga. I mean, the reason that we're really doing this is because you have a pretty cool offer coming up starting next week with your yoga class. So you're going to offer an online class. Maybe just talk about what that's going to look like, when it's going to start, and what the idea is to have this 3-month class, right?
Yeah, it's going for 3 months. Okay, well.
Okay, cool. So maybe let you about that. Talk about when it's going to start.
So it's the first class of the yoga club. It is September 7th. And this weekend on Sunday, I'm offering the first live broadcast of a yoga class. And you asked why I'm doing it. I mean, there are many reasons. Over the years, serving all kinds of different people in yoga classes, I hear all the excuses. In fact, it's not even in yoga. Yeah. I hear them just, if I'm at a party or something, or just meet somebody at a coffee shop and they find out I'm a yoga teacher, and they it's like I'm a confessional or something. And so I've really been curious about what this is that keeps people from doing something that they feel like would be really good for them. And Yoga Club is a way that I'm creating Yoga Club to remove those barriers. You know, at least cherry pick the ones that we commonly come up with, which are like time. You know, like I can't make it to a physical class. Just insecurity about being a beginner, not wanting to be seen, all the unknowns of being in a group class. What else? This, like, well, money. This is a great deal. I mean, it's you can get all 3 months for $111.
That's insane. That's it's like shopping at Walmart. I don't know why I just said that, but it's what it's like, right? No, it's awesome. That's a great deal. Now, I remember you mentioned about beginners, and I told you my yoga experience, how we were doing the one I didn't know it was an advanced class, and I reached over, I think it was a scorpion or something like that, and I kicked the lady in the head beside me. And so that was my last crack at yoga. So what you're offering here is people an opportunity, no matter what level they're at, whether it's beginner or advanced, an opportunity to go in there and take your class. And the good thing about being online is that if you're not there for the live class, what happens?
If you're not there, if you can't make it on the live broadcast, it's recorded. And so you're in the club, and it's through a private Facebook group. So all the recordings will be posted there. And yeah, and I would love to address too just about practicing outside of your level. I mean, when you told me that, I was like, scorpion? Oh my God, that is a very advanced pose. I don't even really do it that often. And for those of you who are not familiar with scorpion, it's like you're balancing on your forearms with your body above your head and reaching your feet for your head.
Yeah.
It's a back bend balancing on your forearms. So as a teacher, you know, I'm very passionate about people being with their own personal edges. And so it really doesn't matter what yoga pose you're in. It's about how it feels to you, and if you have if you're at an interesting place that's stretching you, but not going beyond it. And that's where we get hurt, and that's where we hurt other people, like kicking other students in the head. So the way that I'm addressing that is that, you know, I really like to check in with people before my classes. And you can do that through, you know, get to the class a little early and just check in, let me know what hurts, you know, any injuries or anything you're working with before class.
Right.
And you can also ask that in the group in general. So I'll be, you know, keeping tabs on the people in this group, and we have open Q&A calls once a month where you can get your questions answered in more detail, but ongoing in the Facebook group, I'll be in there answering questions and also offering tutorials on different modifications for, you know, injuries and sensitivities. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's talk about yoga for people. We know that it's very popular. It's an exercise or a way of life that's not going away in any time soon. It's been you know, very out there now for about the past 6 years, where it's been very popular. But it's still picking up a lot of popularity. What are the benefits? Like, so if you do yoga, what does that do for your body, for your health, for your mind? Is it like, just talk about what the benefits are for doing yoga?
Well, you know, there are so many kinds of yoga right now, and there's this like overwhelm that comes in because we're not really a unified voice. And it really varies so much. I mean, some yoga you're just like lying down the whole time, and other yoga you're in this like hot ass room, you know, about to faint, trying to, you know, maybe balance on your forearms and touch your feet to your head. So the way that I teach is about accessibility. And the benefits are, well, what happens when you're on a yoga mat in your yoga practice is that you get to start to really focus on and witness your patterns of how you are in the world, how you are in your body. So, for instance, like if you have a strategy of dealing with stress that is to breathe shallow, and I would call that shutting down a little bit or lack, or numbing out. And I say this as somebody who has that as an old strategy. And yoga is what has helped give me other tools, because when you're not breathing, you're not nourished. And when you're not breathing, you can't think clearly. And when you're not breathing, your body goes into stress mode. It's like, literally, I'm going to die. So, but it can work for a little bit. So, say you're in a challenging conversation or like a conflict with somebody, and you shut your breath down. And this is kind of like hiding or just like holding on to something, right? Well, you're stuffing that into your body somewhere. And so when you get on your yoga mat, what happens is you'll start to feel that stuff come up. And then at first, you go to the strategy to shut your breath down. And for a little bit, it works. But then as you hold the pose, it stops working. And that's when what comes up, in forest yoga, we call it the quit instinct. So you're in this pose, you're not breathing, you start to feel something. Maybe you don't even have the time or the presence of mind to notice what it really is that you're feeling, but it could be burning in your legs, it could be shakiness, it could be fear, it could be sadness, tightness. And then because you're not breathing, you don't have the resources to continue feeling whatever that is, which the result of that is release and breakthrough. And so when you bring the breath in and you start to experience yourself like, wow, when I was in that pose, I couldn't handle it and I had to drop out. And the next time you do it, you stay in longer, or maybe when you're in class with me, because a lot of times I encourage people, I'm really on the breath. And, I can coach you through staying in the pose, and then you get to experience that. And then that is what you get to bring with you into your life, that when you're in those tight spots, whether it's at work or with your family, or even just in being alone, being intimate with yourself, that you can start to resource that experience from the yoga mat to have a release and a breakthrough in your everyday life.
That's awesome. And plus you get flexibility, you get stretching. I mean, things that, as a guy, we just take for granted. And then you get to be my age, where you get to be an old man at 47, and you get a little bit stiffer, right? So I think yoga, I would just think that would make you more flexible, because you're doing poses and exercises that you would never think about. So is that overall helping your body as far as your posture and as far as like flexibility as well?
Oh, totally. Thank you for keeping me practical here. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you'll feel good in your body. And I mean, what I was just talking about is, it's a more spiritual way to look at what's going on, but it is very physical. That's why I talk about it, because we're physically carrying those things. That's what makes us tight. But I would love to speak about tightness a little bit, because I hear this all the time. People say, oh, yeah, I like to do yoga, but I'm way too tight. I'm not flexible enough. And actually, it's better, in my opinion, to come into yoga as a tight person than it is to come in as a flexible person.
I've heard that before, actually. I've heard that. Somebody at the gym told me that, and I'm like, that was my experience. Oh, I'm too tight. I can't do it. I'm not. I tried it once before, and it failed, so I'm too tight. And he said, no, it's best to come at that point. So why is it better to come in being tight than being flexible?
Because when you're tight, you have more support around your joints.
Okay.
So, like, flexible people, for one thing, like, there's this myth that, you know, you can be good, you're good at yoga, like if you can do the splits or whatever, or you can put your head on your head, right? And depending on our body chemistry, we are predisposed to being flexible or less flexible. And you can build flexibility. You can also build strength.
Yeah.
So those flexy people, they get into yoga, and a lot of times they'll feel like, I'm amazing at yoga, you know, I'm doing the splits, and look at me. But they'll hurt themselves because they're hyperextending in their joints and all kinds of stuff. So those people's work, flexible people, their work is to build the strength around their joints, whereas the tight people, they're kind of carving out their flexibility. So they already have the structure in place, and they just have to open up the flexibility. And I mean, the trick, being a tight person, is to relax your judgments about, you know, whether you can touch your toes or not, and just stay with your own edge as you learn how to release the tightness in your body.
Because like everything else, you'll get there eventually, right? You just got to work at it. So this is a great thing, like for me, you know, to all the guys out there that who are curious about yoga but think that they're not flexible enough, or that they don't want to go to a yoga studio and, you know, look silly or embarrass themselves. This coach online is the best one for people who have the time to face, or B, don't want to, you know, quote unquote, embarrass themselves, because they can do it online and no one's going to see them, right? So you have a great idea. Again, let's talk about the dates again when you start classes.
You know, you're breaking up a little bit. I didn't hear that just last part question you asked me.
Okay, so it's the dates classes when they're going to start. Your free one's going to be on Sunday, and your actual classes are going to start next week. So what's that date again?
Okay, so yeah, free classes on Sunday at 3 p.m. Broadcasted online. It's also, if you're in Santa Rosa, we're having a physical class. So the links have more information about that.
Nice.
And then the structure of the classes in the club, once it starts, it begins September 7th, and so that's a Wednesday. So the first 3 Wednesdays of every month, I'm teaching a live class at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And so you can join us live there. If you can't make it, you can always watch the recording. And the first class of every month is going to be a foundations class. I will also have tutorials inside the club, you know, about how to modify different things and what I'm talking about. So when I cue it, you know, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then the next 2 classes in the month will be mixed level with some more advanced offerings for poses. But, you know, even really advanced poses all have a beginner place. So there will be something for everybody in those classes.
Yeah, awesome. It's important. Like I said, you know, for a lot of people, I do yoga before, but curious about it, about doing it and stuff. I know that I don't have very much flexibility, and I need to, you know, maintain some sort of flexibility as I get older. And I know a lot of men, we aren't flexible to begin with. You don't have to be like me to do yoga, right? You can come in, like you said, you can be stiff, and this is going to help you in every aspect, not just your flexibility, but whole soul. Because you know, life's it's stressful. So I mean, this would be a great opportunity for people to learn yoga and just feel great about their lives. That's kind of what your whole motto is in this one, is it not?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's a spiritual thing, and it is very physical. And I mean, one of my passions in teaching is that anybody can do it. And even if you have injuries, like, you get to discover how to heal yourself, because you really are the only one who can. So, you know, I've seen all kinds of incredible healings take place, and people transcend things that, you know, we commonly don't imagine you can do anything about. You know, we say things like, oh, well, I'm just getting old, you know, and it's like, I honestly don't buy into it.
Yeah.
You can, it's really about how you are in your body and the beliefs that you're carrying and listening deeply to your body, which, you know, I saw this thing once that was like 10 things that yoga teachers shouldn't say, and one of them was like, listen to your body, because they're like, what does that even mean? And so what it means is feeling and being curious about that feeling. So there's just really, the more that we can tune into our bodies, they will just guide us to right where we want to be. And our minds will be relaxed and enjoying the ride.
That's great. And you obviously, we learned earlier in this on the program that you have all kinds of techniques that you can teach people, you know, with the yoga, with the breath and everything else. So I mean, it'd be a great opportunity for someone to actually take the time and just, you know, look at themselves and get grounded and feel your body, because it's always talking to us. I always believe that our bodies are always talking to us. So I think your class, this class you're going to be offering, it's going to help your aspect of your life. So tell us again what the first one's going to be again. Your first class on the Wednesday, right?
First class launches on
Thursday. Tuesday. What day is it again?
It's Wednesday, September 7th. But the free class is this Sunday.
At 9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. There, we still have a little bit of a delay. The free class is this Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific. And there was something else.
Okay. Anything else you want to discuss before we take some questions, or you think we're good and you want to see what's anybody's online to ask any kind of, or do you want to talk about anything else that might be coming up that we have not discussed yet?
Yeah, well, I really would like to just punctuate the value of learning how to breathe well and to step into that practice. I have people tell me all the time, like, wow, okay, the breath is a big deal after they go through a class with me. And, you know, so even if you come into the club and you just breathe through the classes the whole time. And I have people that do that. You know, I teach at a rehab recovery center, and some of the people just lie down and they breathe the whole time, and it's incredibly profound. So it's really about discovering your own practice in the container of, you know, the community that I'm creating and under my loving and watchful eye. And I would love to open
So you're going to get all that and more when you take one.
Go ahead.
Any questions you can actually ask in the chat?
Do you want me to just read them?
Yeah, are there questions?
I have a question.
Oh, okay. My
Can
assistant.
you elaborate for us how you listen to your body, and if you have any examples to share with us, how you do that?
How you listen to your body. So, so my assistant, Fioli, who's running the background here, has a question about how do you listen to your body? Like, what exactly? So I mentioned that feeling is the starting point. When you have your breath deep, then you have more access to the focus to tune into what's going on. So an example is, and you could even do this right now. So if your breath fell off a little bit as you're watching, start to deepen it now. And it helps to close the eyes, so you just, you know, you limit the information input through your eyes and you look inside. And then just scan through your body and notice what sensations are there right now. So that's like temperature. You know, are you warm or cool, or are there areas that are warmer or cooler? What areas feel tight? or numb, or maybe like pressure or a kind of pointy pain feeling, pinchiness maybe. How about space? And I'm adopting sparkles as a sensation because there's a feeling for me that I call sparkles, and it's like kind of movement, it's twinkly, you know. So, you know, taking in all the things that you have access to noticing right now in your body, and then which one is just like, pick just one sensation that is like kind of raising its hand a little extra. It's just like, over here. Usually there's one sensation that's going to be like, you know, standing out to you. And take your attention there. And if you can, I mean, hey, why not put your hands on it? Right now it's my solar plexus. Where are you putting your hands, Fioli?
My hand.
Hand on her hand. And then you take your breath into it. So if it's in your core, it's easier to get your breath in there as a beginner. If it's in your hand, like Fioli picked her hand, then that's when you start to use your imagination a little bit more. So as you breathe, you just imagine your breath coming down to your wrists to bring more awareness there. And then you listen inside, you know, your inner voice, and you might get some ideas. That's what listening is. You can ask questions. What do you, and solar plexus? What are you trying to say to me right now? And it sounds woo-woo, but it's very real. And, you know, I find, actually, Darren, you said this to me. You're like, a lot more people see psychics than they admit. And so I think we all have.
Yeah, sure we do, yeah.
Yeah. What? Anyway, it's just listening to your inner voice as you feel your body. And sometimes, you know, you won't get clear answers, but it's a curiosity thing. And it may even develop later, like something will pop in your head. Oh, I should maybe do this more often, Fioli. So, you have another question?
Yes. We have a question from Donnie Chamberlain. What would you and your body be like without yoga?
Oh, well, I'll show you.
Oh, good one.
Like this. And puffy. A lot more.
Yo, what's up?
Oh, well, so Donnie is my mom. And so I have this thing with my mom because she always said, oh, what good posture you have. But somewhere after high school or in around there, I started doing this. And because I tend to be a muscular person and I've been very athletic, I actually built my muscles around poor, painful posture. And so with yoga, I've been carving that out to be able to stand in a way that feels good and looks good. Is that clear?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Yeah, question. So all these things you're gonna teach on your classes. So we don't want to give away all your secrets. People sign up for your class. Want them to take your yoga class. Want them to learn from the expert that you are, and we want them to be able to start living their rock star life. So, do we have any questions, Fioli? Fioli.
I do not see any more. I do have one more question. I'm very curious about how you guys connected together. Like how you guys meet up and stuff.
Me and Darren?
Yeah, you and Darren.
Darren and I met online.
We're at a singles bar. Yeah.
What did you say?
So we were at a singles bar one day, and I'm kidding. I'm married, for the record. That's not what I'm doing here. So we met online. I am a
dating
speaker coach.
Yeah, we met.
Yeah.
We met on an
And Saeri was. We have a mutual. We have a mutual coach that we've both worked with, and yeah, so I've been helping her with her speaking, and she's gonna help with my yoga. So it's gonna be a good thing for us here. So yeah, she's great. I mean, Saeri, Saeri, every time we talk once a week, sometimes twice. Starts her stuff with a deep. I asked the question, so why do you always do that? And now I know that's why. Sure, people is that. I mean, I start doing that too now. If I get thinking too quickly, I'm just going to stop, take a breath, and then figure out where I'm at before I start talking again. So I've learned that from just in our conversations.
It makes for a powerful pause, doesn't it? Which is what I've been learning from you in speaking.
Well, definitely.
Pause.
Exactly.
Breathe while you pause. I mean,
yeah.
I do a conversation and people go. So yeah, we met through this.
Yeah, you know what?
Darren is a inspiring person. I mean, when he said, "Let's do a webinar," I was like, "Eek!" But he's been inspiring me all along the way to keep breaking through and join you all today here. So thank you for everybody who's watching live, and also those of you who are watching the recording. This is one of the things that I just find amazing. That again, it sounds a little woo, but I've had so many validating experiences. Just how I may have said something that was exactly what you need to hear today, and you're watching the recording, and we really do create a group energy together, and that's what I'm really excited about doing in Yoga Club. It's just the group energy that we're creating in the community and the support there. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, Fioli's excited. Me too.
Yeah, atta girl, Fioli. Before we wrap up here, let's give a link to your website. Two people go in there and sign up for the yoga class from your website, correct? So let's give them all the proper information to make sure they easily sign up this life-changing course class, not course, class.
Yeah, we'll get the links in there. They're not in there now.
They will be provided to you in the description below this video after it is done being recorded, either tonight or tomorrow.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, that sounds really good. Saeri, you're always fun. You're gonna people that don't know you yet who are taking your class. You know what? You enjoy life. You love life, and that you do. So I'm just so grateful that you're going to be able to offer yourself to other people in this capacity, and they as well will be able to see how great you are and how important you are to this earth. So I thank you, and I thank you for letting me be the guide to this webinar.
Thank you so much, Darren. And about the links and stuff, you can go to innerglowing.com, right now, and check out. There's an online yoga tab, and there is a big red star on the front page to find out more about attending the free class on Sunday. So you could go there right now, and then I'm also on Facebook. My name is Saeri Domke on Facebook, which is a little confusing right now, but come and find me there through Inner Glowing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Darren. I love you.
Awesome. And $111. $111. That's like 3 Starbucks a week. That's less than $3. $3 Starbucks a week. I mean, and plus you're going to be overall health, wellness, and mind and body. So yeah, check it out. Go on there and sign up for her class. It is going to be awesome. Thank you, Saeri.
Sweet. Thank you, Darren. Ciao, everybody.
All right. Good night. And thank you very much, Fioli.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Fioli.